Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a great day. And today I'm just doing a nice little chill video. Doing another Q&A. And I don't think I've done one of these since I had my engagement Q&A video. So I'm giving this another shot. So I posted an Instagram story about asking if you guys had any questions for me. Maybe something particularly about 2021 or something like that in the new year. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the first question, do you want kids? And I can't believe how many times we've gotten this question, and I feel like we've answered it plenty of times, and yes, we want kids. It's just we're not exactly sure when it'll happen. Next is, who is your inspiration for becoming a music producer? Now this one's interesting. I would say my current inspiration for becoming a music producer is a guy named Andrew Huang. He does YouTube and he's a really cool producer. And I'm actually taking his online music production class starting next week, I believe, so I'm excited for that. But I don't know if besides that, I don't really know if I had any direct inspirations for music production, because when I got into music, I had the general concept that I thought that music production is what I wanted to get into, but I just didn't know what that field was called. So then once I discovered that it's called music production, then I was all for it. And so I don't really think there's any one inspiration person that got me on board with music production necessarily. Yeah. Next question. What is your dream car? My dream car is this bad boy right here. My dream car is a Corvette, and I'm a fan of the newer ones more than the older ones because I think they look cool. As far as cars go, I'm not a super duper car person, so for me the attraction of cars is the external looks of it. I'm about the looks of a car, and so I think the new Corvettes look really dope. I don't know if I'll ever get one because they're expensive. But next question is, do you and Audrey play a lot of instruments? And collectively, yes, we do. We play, well, I guess I play guitar. I'm looking because I have my guitars right over here. I have my guitars, I play piano, and Audrey can play ukulele. I can kind of play ukulele. Audrey plays flute. I am learning how to play this bad boy right here. I got this for Christmas from Audrey's family. This is called a kalimba, and I love them. They're these little finger. You just kind of flick it with your finger, and it sounds so good. It's just so chill. Ta-da! Question number whatever it is. I think I got 15 of these, and also if I didn't answer your questions, I'm sorry. You guys there's just too many of you to be able to answer all of the questions. So if I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. There's just too many questions to answer, so I just had to pick a few. That's just how it goes. So also make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. But only hit the like button if you actually like the video, So, yeah. What made you like music so much? I don't think there's really anything that made me like music as much as I do. I feel like it came pretty naturally to me. I started playing cello when I was in 4th grade. And I started teaching myself piano when I was in 6th or 7th grade, I think. And so I think I've always just kind of had a natural love for music, and I feel like that's what I should be doing with my life. So Yeah. Next question is, are you going to release new music in 2021? And if so, what genre? Potential release of music in 2021 is up in the air. So as far as like music production goes, I'm kind of like slowing. I'm not trying to release music as hard anymore. I mean, I went for it on Sunrise and that was really fun. And you guys have shown a lot of love for it, so thank you. But I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I personally was not very satisfied with how that project came out. And I think that's because there's some like dissonance between what that project was and what I wanted it to be. And so I just feel like my production skills aren't where I want them to be. They don't feel like they're professional to me yet. And so I want to kind of go back to the drawing board and learn more about music production, and then I will come back into actively releasing music once I feel like my production skills are professional and I've got a good grip on it and I can produce something that I'm satisfied with. So the production, the release of music in 2021 is at this point currently unknown. And secondly, I don't really want to define myself with any one genre. I'm just gonna make music that I think sounds cool. And I feel like genre classification is like the secondary thing. Nobody ever I don't think anybody intentionally kind of boxes themselves in with any one genre. They just like to experiment with music as a whole, and they just kind of do it, and then other people classify their music into a genre like for them. And so if you're wondering, I think what I'm getting into, I think would be classified as alternative, but I'm really not sure. This is a good question. While using the microphone, about what distance should you be away from it? And this one, I'll be honest, I'm still learning myself, hence why I said I kind of want to go back to the drawing board and learn how to do it better before I release more music. One thing I did learn from a video is that if you get closer to the microphone, the closer you are to it, the more low end you will get, so the more bass you will get. And the farther away from it, the less bass you will get. So, and that goes for girls' voices too. It's relative, the relative low end for a girl's voice and the relative high end. It's very a very slight difference. I hope that makes sense. My other explanation is if you need to test what microphone distancing you should have, what you want to do is you want to sing, because we all know that voices have a very dynamic range. By dynamic range, I mean voices have a big volume range. We can go from being very quiet to very loud, and that can be kind of hard to balance and capture sometimes. So there's this thing called a volume metering that looks like this. And basically there's the green part, the yellow part, and the red part at the top. You don't want to be in the red, because when you get in the red, then your audio quality is bad. It does a thing called clipping, which means it's cutting off part of the audio quality, to put it in the simplest terms I can. So the best way to gauge it is you want to sing the loudest part of your song, and then you want to just make sure that you're close enough or far away enough from the microphone that your voice is somewhere in the yellowish. You want it close to the red. You basically want it as close to the red as you can get, but not into the red. Okay, next question. I have some advice for you. This one is, what is the best music software to use? I want to learn Ableton, but it looks confusing. And here's the reality. Ableton is one of the best music softwares you can get. And yes, it is confusing, and in fact, to me, Ableton is actually one of the less confusing professional music softwares out there. Yeah. And the reason why I like to use Ableton is because I've found it to be the least confusing, proper, fully featured music production software out there that I can find. It's the cleanest, it's the simplest. I understand how the interface works. To me, it's the simplest. So here's my advice. If you want to get into full-fledged music production, professional music kind of production, it's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of work to learn how to use your program. There's tons of tutorials online that can teach you how to get around the interface of a music program. So I think my biggest advice would be, don't let the program intimidate you, because it is definitely learnable. It takes some time, but it is doable. I'm kind of learning this myself, that like I kind of was hoping that I'd just be like a natural, like a whiz kid at freaking music production, but it's been far from that, and I have so much to learn, which is why I'm saying that I need to go back to learning more music production before I try to produce and release another song. And so that's pretty much where that whole deal stands, I think. So that's my biggest advice. Don't let the program intimidate you. If you want to learn a fully featured music program that you don't have to pay a cent for, try Cakewalk. It's on the computer, and if you're trying to do fully fledged music production, you're probably going to want a computer. And so, totally free, fully featured, it's doable. Okay, next question is, are you and Audrey going to get a dog? My YouTube is not working, so I have no idea what's happening. Yes, the plan is to get a dog, we just don't know when, and the reason is because with our college situation, there's a good chance that we'll have to move back out of this apartment fairly soon. It depends on if Audrey is able to do the rest of her schooling online, or if she's planning on going back down to BYU, because if she goes back down to BYU in person, then we have to move back to Provo, and we don't want to get a dog and then have to be restricted by finding a pet-friendly apartment when we move again. So we're not going to get a dog until A, either we have a guarantee that we can stay in this apartment, or B, until we get a house. So next question is, what's your favorite things to do with your wifey? And what are you looking forward to in 2021? I think my favorite things to do with Audrey are playing games and just generally hanging out. Lately we've been watching Star Wars. We're working on the Mandalorian series on Disney+. It's been super great. And lately we played a game called Cat Quest 2 that we both loved, and we finished it in a day. And we're still going to play Cat Quest more because there's still a bunch of like side quest stuff that we can do. But yeah, I think my favorite thing is just generally getting to spend time with her. And we like to spend that time by playing games or watching movies together. So. And as far as looking forward to 2021, I think I'm kind of excited to go back to school actually, because I am ready to learn some more stuff about music production. So I'm excited to learn stuff. Learning can be a little more exciting when it's something that you're into and excited about. Okay, next question is, when did you decide on music? Were you in middle school, high school? And when I decided that I was going to do music as a career was in high school. It was my junior year, which is about the time of your life when you start feeling like some serious pressure about like what your career choice should be. People are like getting on you like, hey, you need to figure out what you're going to be doing. I didn't know what to do for like my career stuff, but there was just one weird week in my junior year of high school where I was like consistently, like the whole entire week, I just had this thought and feeling at the back of my head that I should do music, that I should go into music, I should go to college for music. And ever since, I just kind of decided that that was going to be my choice. I was going to go to school for music, and I haven't really thought twice since. So that's when I decided on music as a career. Next up is, who is your favorite musician? I have a couple favorite artists. I think AJR is a huge one. Audrey and I actually saw a virtual concert that AJR put on the other night, and it was super cool. I also really like John Bellion, Imagine Dragons, One Republic. People like that. Those are my favorite musicians. So, next question is, favorite song right now? And that is a tricky one because it's really hard to pick favorite songs. I think AJR just released a new song called My Play, and it's about divorce, so it's sad, but it's a good song. You know what I mean. And any other songs. Audrey and I have had a song called No Mercy stuck in our head the past couple days. If you guys remember, if you guys are like on TikTok, if you remember like the TikTok that's like, I want to meet Tracer, I'm already Tracer, what about Widowmaker, I'm already Widowmaker. It's that song. And so, yeah. I have an idea, what's your idea? Audrey brought it up and now we listened to it once and it's actually really catchy, and then we like listened to it. We've listened to it a couple times. Yeah. Next question is, what is your favorite thing about New Year's? I think I like New Year's because it's kind of just like Christmas for me. It's about spending some time with your family and just kind of taking a break from everything for the year. And I also like not just the feeling of like a fresh start, but I also like the feeling of it's like, yay, you made it through another year. And especially for like 2020, because this year's been insane. Like the yay, you made it through this year is definitely a big accomplishment. So yeah. Okay, next question is, what is one place in the world you would like to visit? And this is the last question. I'm actually just gonna name a couple places because I can never pick one. One would be Hawaii because it looks absolutely beautiful in pictures and I've never been. Two would probably be mostly anywhere in Europe. I would actually really like to go visit Iceland because Iceland looks really cool to me from what I've seen in pictures. New Zealand would be cool because it's super green and that's where they filmed Lord of the Rings, so that's notable. Yeah, those are pretty high up there on my bucket list. I think another high up one is Switzerland because Audrey's been to Switzerland and she loved it, and it's like the exact kind of like green mountainy kind of stuff that I love, so Switzerland's also high on my list. Okay, that's gonna be it for my Q&A video. If you liked it, make sure you leave a thumbs up down there. And if you want to see more videos that I do, if you like hanging out with me, if I haven't scared you off or I'm not too weird, then you should hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's pretty good. It's nice and red. You should just go click it. And yeah. Comment down below if you want to see another one of these kinds of videos, and I'll see you guys next time.
You said the same thing I told ya. My eyes are clear, there's no secret.